What is up, ladder climbers? Antoine Wade here from Elevate to the Unknown and nextgenheights.com. That's NXTGENHEIGXTS.com. And it is Wednesday, October the 8th at 7 a.m. Central. And we are live on the Daily Climb. Guys, do me a favor. Type Wednesday if you are ready for day 3. Listen, you went to bed last night, and while you were sleeping, gold broke $4,000 per ounce for the first time in human history. That's $4,000 for 1 ounce of gold. Never happened before, ever. Also, while you were sleeping, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, one of the busiest airports in America, couldn't staff their air traffic control tower for 9 hours straight. Ain't that something? Nashville, another airport, had to shut down their entire approach facility for 5 hours. Pilots had to coordinate takeoffs and landings themselves. No controllers. And this morning, right now, as I'm talking to you live on the Daily Climb, the IRS is furloughing 35,000 workers, half their entire workforce, happening right now as I am speaking to you. This is day 8 of the government shutdown. Markets flying blind, no jobs data, no economic data, just gold breaking 4,000 and air traffic controllers not showing up. Yesterday, President Trump said some federal workers don't deserve to get their back pay. That's what President Trump said. He also says that there are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of. Man, ain't that something? Just imagine having a big boss saying some people don't deserve to be taken care of. The Senate failed for the 5th time to pass funding. The 5th time. They don't care about you. I've been saying that for a long time. And yesterday, day 2 of your 5-day plan, you were supposed to start a certification. You were supposed to pick one. You were supposed to begin on Tuesday. Some of you did. Most of you did not. Today is day 3. You should be updating your LinkedIn headline, adding AI to your profile, writing one post about what you are learning. Non-negotiable. Because while you were deciding whether to take action, systems are breaking. Gold's breaking records. Airports are closing towers. The government can't pay workers. We got 57 minutes in today's show. We are about to climb, guys. Let's jump into it. We're going to jump into the first segment of the day, and we're going to be talking about what happened while you guys were sleeping. Gold, $4,029 per ounce. It hit that price overnight during Asian trading. That's never happened before. Not 400, not 400,000 in total holdings, $4,000 for 1 ounce. It's pretty historic. If you think this is historic, type historic in the chat for me. The thing about gold is this, guys. Gold doesn't randomly spike like this at all. Gold goes up when people panic. When investors don't trust stocks, don't trust bonds, don't trust the government, don't trust anything. So what do? They go out there and buy gold. It is a safe haven. It's been valuable for 5,000 years. You can't print any more gold. You can't hack it. You can't delete it. And overnight, institutions, banks, wealthy investors, they pushed gold past 4,000 for the first time ever. Now, the question you guys probably have is, why? Well, 3 reasons. 1, the government shutdown. It's day 8. There's no economic data. Markets are flying blind. Nobody knows what actually is happening with jobs or the economy. The second reason, the Federal Reserve expected to cut rates again. Lower rates make gold more attractive. No interest payments on gold. There's not any interest payments on gold at all. But when bonds pay nothing, gold looks better. The third reason, chaos everywhere. There's a whole bunch of chaos going on in the world, guys. You guys don't know about it, but I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you right now. France. Their prime minister resigned. Japan, they got a new prime minister. There's a whole bunch of uncertainty, not just going on in the United States, it's going on across the entire world. And when uncertainty spikes, guess what happens? Gold spikes. So gold is up 52% this year. That is 52%. Now I'm getting ready to show you guys the air traffic situation because this is where it gets scary. All right, many of you guys are flying. I might be a little bit scared to fly. Tuesday night, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, over 1,000 flights a day. One of the busiest airports in the country. And I got to say, at one point in time, I hated O'Hare, but I like O'Hare Airport. They've done some decent things with it. But air traffic control tower couldn't maintain full staff for 9 hours. Ground delays average 41 minutes. Flights stacking up. Pilots waiting because not enough controllers in the tower. I'm going to take it to a news segment. Let you guys listen in on this one.
This morning, flight delays and cancellations at airports across the country as more air traffic controllers working without pay call out sick. Controllers are considered essential workers, expected to work through the government shutdown, but won't get paid until it's over. The staffing shortage is impacting a growing number of airports, including Las Vegas, Houston, and Chicago. Overnight, Nashville's tower operating with extremely limited staff, causing some of its traffic to be handled by a team in Memphis. The Controllers Union urging its members to report to work, but says it understands the hardship they're facing.
We work evening shifts. We work midnight shifts. We have single parents. And when you're not even able to afford the childcare, those are going to be the very difficult decisions that are made.
Air traffic controllers are exempt from being furloughed during a shutdown, but some 750,000 federal workers are currently out of work. Now, President Trump suggesting not all federal workers on furlough are entitled to receive back pay once the government reopens, even though that is the law.
I would say.
Delays. Nashville, you heard, worse. Their approach facility. That's the place that guides planes into and out of the airport, had to shut down completely for 5 hours. Pilots had to coordinate with regional centers in Memphis instead. Ground delays average 2 hours, 2 hours sitting on the runway. I hate it when I have to sit on the runway in a plane. I'm like, let me out of this place. Let me off the plane. Let me get off. But half of the time, they have you sit in that hot box, breathing all that stinking air. I don't like it. And I'm sure you guys don't like it either. And it just wasn't those two airports. 11 FAA facilities reported staffing shortages Tuesday night. 11. Phoenix, Denver, Newark, Jacksonville, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Indianapolis, all short staff. I want to tell you guys why this is happening. Air traffic controllers are considered essential. They have to work during the shutdown, but they're not getting paid. The next payday for them is October the 14th. That's 6 days from now. They'll only get paid for time worked before the shutdown started, not for the days that they work without funding. And if the government doesn't reopen by then, October the 28th, which is my birthday, is the first payday where controllers get nothing, $0. So controllers, they're basically saying you like this. I got to call in sick. I need to take care of my family. I need to drive Uber. I need to make some additional money. This is not an organized strike. This is just individuals choosing to stay home. The system is so tight, so understaffed already, that even a small number of people calling out causes towers to close. The Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, he said on Tuesday, this is their living. They're concerned right now. If they don't get their paychecks, how do they pay their mortgage? How do they pay their car payment? What do I do to put food on the table? I'm telling you right now, the government doesn't care about you. You better be making sure you're learning some skills. You're creating a side hustle. Because when things like this happens, people hurt. Meanwhile, the IRS, starting today, Wednesday morning, furloughing 35,000 workers. Some people in the chat said they owe the IRS. Might be a good situation for them to be closed right now for some people. But the IRS, they've been using their emergency funds for the Inflation Reduction Act to keep everyone working. And those funds ran out yesterday. So today, right now, half the IRS workforce is furloughed. No tax processing, no refunds, no customer service. October the 15th tax extension deadline is coming, and half the IRS isn't working. Check that out. I'm a type of person that every single year, I wait till the last minute to pay my taxes. We just got finished ours. Submitting it pretty soon. May not be a reason to submit it. Now, let me show you guys what President Trump said about back pay. A reporter asked him, will furloughed workers get paid when the government reopens? Guess what Trump said? It depends on who we're talking about. For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. Sounds great, right? For the most part, we're going to take care of our people because we care about our people. What leaders should say, right? But there are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way. Some people don't deserve it. What do you think the media is going to say when he adds that little part to it? The White House released a draft memo saying furloughed workers aren't entitled to back pay. This is what they said. All on the news. Got us talking about it. Got us talking about it on this morning show. Even though there's 2019 law signed by Trump himself that says furloughed workers shall be paid. The law says shall be paid, not might be paid, shall be. But the White House memo argues that the law doesn't automatically guarantee back pay. Putting some of y'all on the hot seat. I'll let you guys listen in on this one. Check this one out.
As the government shutdown hits the 1 week mark with no end in sight, President Trump today issued a new threat saying that furloughed federal workers may not be reimbursed with back pay once the government reopens.
For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way, okay?
That reverses what's been long-standing policy and possibly goes against a 2019 law that ensures back pay for federal workers. Here with more on this is our White House correspondent, Liz Landers. Liz, it has been a very busy day for you.
Yes.
So what exactly is the administration threatening to do here and why?
So PBS NewsHour obtained this memo. It's a draft memo that was written by the general counsel at the Office of Management and Budget. And in it, they believe the administration has the interpretation of that 2019 law that they actually don't have to pay these furloughed federal workers any kind of back pay. Now, that 2019 law was passed after the longest government shutdown in history to give protections to employees so that they would be assured to get back pay after that kind of shutdown.
And it was President Trump who signed it.
And it was President Trump who signed it. Excellent point. In this interpretation from this new OMB legal counsel, they're basically saying that that 2019 amendment gives a permanent authorization for the furloughed workers to get back pay once the federal government reopens, but it does not require it. There's also another sort of addendum in there that the administration is leaning into, saying that the Congress, that when they reopen the government, has to put this, the federal furloughed worker back pay, into whatever funding bill they're doing. So they're trying to find some loopholes here. And this was written for Russ Vought, who's the director of the Office of Management and Budget. And he has been working with the president, we know, to slim down the federal government, threatening these mass layoffs through other kind of mechanisms. So between this new memo and the mass layoff threats that we've been hearing, it seems like the administration is putting pressure on Democrats to end this shutdown.
Quick question.
You guys heard it. The memo argues that the law doesn't automatically guarantee back pay. Some of you guys who work for the federal services are on furlough right now. You're looking for that money to come in. Now there's a threat that some of you may not get it. Senator Patty Murray from Washington, she's the vice chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee, She said this is a baseless attempt to try and scare and intimidate workers. Union President Everett Kelly from the American Federation of Government Employees, he called it an obvious misinterpretation of the law. And even some Republicans aren't comfortable with this. One Republican senator said back pay is not up to the White House. It is the law. So you got it. You got gold breaking 4,000. You got air traffic controllers closing, or air traffic towers. They're closing, and air traffic controllers calling in sick, having to babysit, having to drive Uber to put food on the table. The IRS is furloughing 35,000 today. And the president is saying some workers don't deserve back pay. Day 8 of the shutdown, and the systems are breaking. Now, let me show you guys one more thing. The jobs data. Okay. September jobs report was supposed to come out on Friday. Didn't happen. Bureau of Labor Statistics is shut down because of the government shutdown. So private data firms stepped in, and the numbers are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Moody's Analytics, the chief economist, Mark Zandi, he looked at the private data and said, I quote, there was essentially no job growth in September. Essentially none. Revelio Labs, they track LinkedIn and other professional networks. They said 60,000 jobs added in September, almost all in the education and the healthcare industries. That's it. And get this, job growth was concentrated on only in 3 states, California, New York, and Massachusetts. 3 states out of 50. If you guys think that concentration is wild, type 50 or type 3 in the chat. It's crazy, right? ADP report. It said the private sector lost 32,000 jobs in September. Lost, not gained. Lost. The Conference Board Consumer Confidence Survey, they asked people, are jobs easier or hard to get right now? The answer is jobs are as hard to get now as they were in early 2021, coming out of the pandemic. So the market's flying blind of no official jobs data, just private estimates saying that job growth is dead. And you're on day 3 of your 5-day plan. Day 1 was your audit. Look at where you were. Day 2 was start to begin a certification. Day 3 is today. Update your LinkedIn, add AI to your headline, show the world that you're positioning yourself. Most people won't do it. They'll say tomorrow, next week, when things calm down. But things aren't going to calm down. I'm going to tell you that right now. They are accelerating. All right, I need to take a coffee break real quick. What I'm about to show you next is pretty insane. Tech companies are spending $320 billion this year on AI. And the math says that they need $2 trillion in revenue to justify it. They're $800 billion short. I want you guys to stay with me on this segment, okay? Check it out. Let me show you the biggest bet in tech history and why it may not pay off. 4 companies, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Google. This year, 2025, they're spending an estimated $320 billion on AI infrastructure, data centers, GPUs, computing power, all the stuff that helps you to use AI, ChatGPT, Claude, all of it, Anthropic. $320 billion they are spending between those 4 companies. That's more than the entire GDP of Finland. Now, let me show you guys the math. Check out this math. Because a consulting firm called Bain, they did the analysis. They looked at how much companies are spending on AI. Then they looked at how much revenue AI products need to generate to justify that spending. Because in the business world, if you're going to invest, you need to make money, right? Otherwise, you go out of business or you are in a bubble and it may pop. But here's what Bain found. By 2030, annual spending on AI infrastructure will hit $500 billion per year, every year, just to meet computing needs. To justify that $500 billion in spending, companies need to generate $2 trillion in annual revenue from AI products and services. That's $2 trillion. But here's the problem. Companies can only save about $800 billion by using AI to make sales and marketing and customer support and research more efficient. $800 billion in savings, $2 trillion needed in revenue. That's an $800 million gap. If you guys are following me in the chat, type gap if that math doesn't work. So this is Bain's conclusion from the report. The industry will come up short unless it can find new products or services to sell. They're betting $320 billion this year on the hope that they'll figure out how to make $2 trillion in revenue later. That's the bet. This is what companies are doing. The big four technology companies are making this large bet. Now, let me show you two examples from yesterday that show you this tension. Tesla, on Monday night, they launched a new affordable version of the Model Y and the Model 3. Model Y, $39,900. Model 3, $36,900. Breaking the $40,000 barrier. Sounds good, right? Cheaper Teslas. This is what they wanted, right? Well, wrong. These cars are actually more expensive than they would have been a week ago because the $7,500 federal EV tax credit expired recently. So Tesla's calling them affordable, but they cost more than before. And Tesla stock fell 3% after the announcement because investors wanted them to be even cheaper. If you guys got a Tesla, type Tesla in the chat. I don't have a Tesla, so I'm not going to type anything in the chat. But let me show you the opposite side, SoftBank. Okay. SoftBank, overnight, they announced that they're buying ABB's robotics division. $5.375 billion. ABB makes industrial robots, factory automation, manufacturing equipment. SoftBank CEO, Masayoshi Son, he calls this physical AI, combining artificial intelligence with industrial robotics. So Son's vision is this: AI doesn't live in computers, or AI doesn't just live in computers. It controls robots as well. It builds products. It operates warehouses. It runs factories. So he's looking at this investment of how do we create robots to do manual labor and create other things. That's his bet. Physical AI, not the factory or not the software side of it. It's a big bet. A lot of billions of dollars. But $5.37 billion on physical AI. That's his bet. The deal closes in 2026, requires regulatory approval in the EU, China, and the US. But he's all in, the CEO. He's betting SoftBank's future on AI controlling physical machines, not just software, but hardware. So you've got Tesla trying to sell cheaper EV vehicles, but actually charging more. And you've got SoftBank buying robotics for $5 billion, hoping that physical AI is the future. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the problem everyone's talking about in the corporate world. Many of you guys may have heard of it. Many of you guys may not have. It's a new buzzword, a corporate buzzword. It's called work slop. Researchers at Better Up Labs and Stanford Social Media Lab, they studied workers using AI to do their jobs. And they surveyed 1,150 workers. And they found 40%, 40, have received what they call work slop from colleagues in the past month. Work slop is basically substandard AI assisted work product. So it's when you decide that you want to use AI and it's crap and you turn it into somebody and somebody has to go out there and clean it up. So someone uses AI to write a report or create a presentation or draft an email, but they don't fact check it. They don't clean it up. They don't make sure it's accurate. So they send it to you and now you have to fix it. You have to fact check it. You have to clean it up and you have to clean up their mess. The researchers wrote in the Harvard Business Review that 40% of workers are now dealing with work slop regularly. Any of you guys have to deal with work slop? If you guys have to deal with work slop, type work slop in the chat. Anybody sending me a whole bunch of work slop, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it at all. So companies are spending $300 $120 billion on AI, but the output is so bad that workers are spending time cleaning up each other's AI mistakes. That's not efficiency. That is new work. They said that AI was going to create a whole bunch of new work. I've been telling you guys to get into compliance because of AI. Now, let me show you the one company that says that it is working for them. That is JPMorgan. CEO Jamie Dimon. On Tuesday, he had a Bloomberg interview. I'll let you guys listen to a little bit of it right now. Check it out.
Jamie, we're talking about the fact that you have lent into technology over the last decade, billions of dollars invested across the business. When it comes to AI, which parts of the JPMorgan business are going to be most transformed by AI?
Yeah, so we've been doing AI since 2012. So people think it's a new thing. Gen AI is kind of new, but not all of AI. We have 2,000 people doing it, spend $2 billion a year on it. It affects everything: risk, fraud, marketing, idea generation, customer service, and it's kind of the tip of the iceberg. And so, we're deploying it. Every time we meet as a business, we ask, what are you doing in AI? What are you doing to serve your people? Why can you do better? What is somebody else doing? So we're freely deploying it, and safely. We have a lot of rules and regulations in place for our own data and how we use it, et cetera.
Is it having a material impact?
You heard him. He said they're spending about $2 billion a year on AI. And he was getting ready to say, before I turned that off, that they're seeing about $2 billion a year in direct benefits. We have shown that for $2 billion of expense, we have about $2 billion of benefit. We did this. We reduced headcount. We saved this time and money. He said 150,000 people at JPMorgan use their internal large language model every week, every single week. And that's the tip of the iceberg, he said. So Jamie Dimon said it's working. 2 billion in, 2 billion out, tip of the iceberg. But Bain says the industry needs $2 trillion in revenue. And they're 800 billion short. That's what Bain said. So 40% of workers are dealing with work slops. I see you guys in the chat saying that you had to deal with some work slop. Tesla's affordable cars cost more. SoftBank, they are betting big on robots, 5 billion big. And tech companies are spending $320 billion this year, hoping that it all pays off. That's the dollar gamble, the $1 trillion gamble. Now, here's what matters for you. If the gamble pays off, AI becomes like cloud computing. Companies rent intelligence, steady subscription revenue, high margins. Tech companies win, like they always have been winning. And workers with AI skills ride the wave. You guys are getting to the money, especially if you have AI skills. If the gamble does not pay off, if companies can't find $2 trillion in revenue, if work slop stays a problem, if the math doesn't work, then we get a bubble pop, like the .com crash, like the fiber optic bust. Companies lose trillions, workers get laid off, data centers sit empty. Either way, here's the point though. The people who survive are the people who have AI skills. So get going with your AI skills. If it pays off, companies need workers who can use the tools. If it doesn't pay off, the few workers who kept their jobs are the ones who had the AI skills. You just saw a $1 trillion bet. Now let me show you what hiring managers think about the next generation of workers. This is brutal. But then I'm going to show you something that contradicts everything. So I want you guys to stay with me on this segment. $350 hiring managers. These are real people who make hiring decisions at real companies. Some of you guys are probably in the chat right now. 350 of them got surveyed. One question: is Generation Z ready for the workforce? 8% said yes. Not 80%. 8% said yes. That's it. Seems shockingly low. Type 8% in the chat if that's shockingly low to you. 92% of hiring managers don't think that Generation Z workers are prepared for the professional world, for professional jobs. Entry-level opportunities are shrinking. Ghost jobs are flooding employment sites. AI taking over high-paying roles like computer programmers and financial analysts. And hiring managers look at Gen Z candidates as think not ready. That's what hiring managers are saying about you guys. Are you guys Gen Z in the chat? If you're Gen Z in the chat, let me know. Why do hiring managers think this about you? Let me know. Put it in the chat. I'll read the comments in a second. Let me show you what LinkedIn CEO said about this. Matter of fact, I'm just going to tell you. We talked about Ryan Roslansky, the CEO of LinkedIn, also an executive VP at Microsoft, because Microsoft owns LinkedIn. But he did an interview recently, and he said something that should wake you up. He said the future of work belongs to not the people with the fanciest degrees, but the people who are adaptable, forward-thinking, ready to learn, and ready to embrace AI tools. That's what he said. This is the CEO of LinkedIn, one of the powerful social media networks, job boards, whatever you want to call it now, because it's a combination of everything. But he's a VP at Microsoft. The future of work belongs to not the people with the fanciest degrees, not to the people who think and thought and were told that I go to Harvard, MIT, I'm the best. It's not those people, but it's to the people who are adaptable, people who are forward thinking, people who are ready to learn, and people who are ready to embrace AI. LinkedIn is basically, their CEO is basically saying this: degrees don't matter anymore. Type degrees in the chat if you think this is a big shift. I don't see it as a big shift. We've been hearing this for a long time. But for some of you, you're just waking up to it. You've been sleeping under a rock for a very long time. Now, I want to show you guys the wage data from a report, because this is important. A new report came out from Lightcast, and they analyzed 1.3 billion job postings. Jobs requiring AI skills pay 28% more than regular jobs without AI skills. And when I mean regular jobs, I mean similar jobs. So 28% more. That's about $18,000 more per year. And workers with 2 or more AI skills, they earn 43% more. 43%. So hiring managers say that Gen Z isn't ready. LinkedIn CEO says that degrees don't matter anymore, and workers with AI skills earn 28% more. Now let me show you what's coming. Senate Help, the committee, released a report on Monday, October the 6th. The report warns that AI and automation could eliminate nearly 100 million jobs over the next decade. That's 100 million. The report talks about which jobs are at most risk of being eliminated. Number 1, fast food workers, counter service, cashiers, 89% reduction expected. Fast food workers, clerks, cashiers, 89% reduction expected. Customer service agents, 83% reduction. Laborers and freight movers, 81%. Secretaries, and administrative assistants, 80%. Software development roles, 39.7%. Highly automatable. And here's the other data point. 52% of U.S. employees are already using AI tools to complete mandatory work training. That's 52%. So 21% use AI to answer difficult questions. 19% use it for parts of questions. 12% use it to complete entire training modules. I know you guys be using AI to complete your training modules because I do it. Especially when it comes down to the quizzes. Try to get the perfect score. So half of the workers are already using AI just to get through required training. But wait, AI companies themselves are hiring like crazy. Bet you guys didn't know this. Came across this article on Business Insider yesterday, or actually this morning, doing my prep for the show. StackBlitz, an AI startup, just announced new office leases in San Francisco in Levi's Plaza, a swanky location near the water. Employees moving in January. commercial real estate firm Colliers, they released a report this week. Since 2020, 5.2 million square feet of office space leased by AI companies in Silicon Valley. Just AI companies. In 2025, just the first 9 months already surpassed the entire year of 2024. Now, to me, reading all this data, it's a bit contradictory. Okay? I want you guys, if you're following this data and you think it's contradictory, hit hiring or type hiring in the chats for me. But Collier's research, it said AI companies are leasing because they are hiring. Generative AI is reshaping the workforce, but is also fueling new job creation that drives office demand. So Silicon Valley office market, the average lease size is growing consistently for 3 years. 2025 reached its highest average lease size since 2020. So which is it? Job losses or job gains? Let me know in the chats what you think. The answer is both. AI companies are hiring, but they are only hiring people who can work with AI. People who understand the tools, people who can deploy them, people who can manage them. Type both in the chat if you see the pattern. That's why Gen Z at 8% is ready. They are in a crisis. Because guess what? They were the class that graduated without the AI skills. And AI companies are hiring, but only workers with AI skills. Gen Z, 8% ready. Degrees dead. AI skills worth 28% more. 100 million jobs at risk. But AI companies are leasing 5.2 million square feet in new offices, hiring workers. Just not the workers without the AI skills. And the window to position yourself is closing. You guys just saw the paradox. Jobs disappearing, jobs being created. Now let me show you guys another paradox. Residential construction is collapsing. Data center construction is booming. And it pays over $100,000. I want you guys to stay with me on this segment, okay? Let me show you this paradox. Residential construction. That is building houses. That's building apartment buildings. That's building trailers, whatever it is, right? That sector is setting up for a massive amount of job losses. But data center construction, building AI infrastructure, that sector can't find enough workers. The same industry, which is construction, but two completely different stories. Let me show you the residential side first. Let me talk about that first. There's a ratio. The number of people employed in residential construction divided by the number of new housing permits issued. And right now, August 2025, that ratio is 2.5. Highest level since 2012. If you guys are following the math, type ratio if you're following the math. But what does this mean? It means that there are 2.5 construction workers for every housing permit issued. That's 10% higher than the 2024 average. Too many workers, not enough work. To get back to the 2024 average, assuming permits stay steady, the industry needs to cut 304,000 jobs. That's 304,000. So you spread that over 12 months, that's 25,000 jobs per month. And remember this, the total private employment is only growing at 30,000 jobs per month right now. That's it. Jobs are not picking up. So residential construction could wipe out almost all private job growth by itself. Let me show you why this is a reliable recession indicator. Economist Neil Duda, Renaissance Macro Research, he published a report on Monday, and he said this: a consumer slowdown is never the precipitating cause of an economic slump. So usually consumption falls after employment materially cracks. So consumer spending doesn't cause recessions, it follows them. The real recession indicator is business investment, and specifically residential investment. If you guys are following me, type residential if this makes sense to you. But Duda, he looked at the last 11 recessions. In 10 of them, residential investment was negative in 2 quarters before the recession started. The only exception was 2001 during the tech bubble recession. And right now as we speak, October the 8th, 2025, residential investment has been contracting for 5 of the last 6 quarters. That's the signal. Due to his analysis, consumer spending won't save us from a recession. Business investment is declining. Residential construction is setting up for massive job losses. We are heading towards a slump, whether people keep shopping or not. Now, here's a paradox. Okay. Data center construction. It's booming. The construction sector overall needs 500,000 additional workers in 2025, this year, just from data center construction. 340,000 data center construction jobs will go unfilled by the end of 2026 without more workers. And those workers that work on the construction of data centers, they make a whole bunch of bank. Construction workers earn $39.33 per hour in April 2025. That's 24% higher than the private sector average. 24% higher. Electricians in major markets, they make $150,000 plus. HVAC technicians working on data centers, $6,000 to $150,000. Excuse me, now $60,000 to $150,000 a year. MEP engineers, which is mechanical, electrical, plumbing, $95,000 to $140,000 per year. And these positions are so hard to fill. The average time to hire an MEP engineer, 4.2 months. 4.2 months just to fill a one position. I want to show you guys how big this boom is. Matter of fact, we're going to hold off on that. I just want you guys to see the data center. But check this out. In Virginia, I'm going to tell you how big the boom is. Virginia, just Virginia alone, one state. 44 new data centers were permitted in the first 9 months of 2025. That's a lot. In 9 months. That's a 16% increase from the entire year of 2024. Amazon filed 28 of those 44 permits. 28, one company. These facilities, when they all come online, will use as much electricity as the entire state of Minnesota used in 2023. One state's data centers using an entire other state's electricity needs. Let me show you the SoftBank physical AI angle again. SoftBank just bought ABB's robotics division for $5.375 billion. Mayoshi Son's vision, physical AI, AI controlling robots, building products, operating warehouses, running factories. But those robots still need to be installed, maintained, programmed, integrated into existing systems. That's skilled trades. That's electricians. That's technicians. That's engineers. So while residential construction collapses, data center construction booms. Industrial automation booms. Physical AI booms. We talked about the two paths. on yesterday. White collar AI skills, 28% premium, or blue collar trades, 150,000 a year for electricians, 340,000 jobs unfilled. Both work, both pay six figures. Neither needs a degree. But you, if you're watching this, you have to pick and you have to start. And here's the reality. A recession is coming. Residential construction, 340,000 jobs are at risk. Consumer spending won't save us. Business investment is declining. But data center construction can't find workers. Physical AI needs technicians. Construction workers earning 24% above average. The middle is disappearing. Low-skill residential construction on one side, high-skill data center construction on the other side. Nothing in between. You've seen the two paths. I shared it with you on yesterday. You've seen it. The middle is disappearing. White collar AI or blue collar trades. Now, it is day 3. Time to update your LinkedIn. And I'm going to show you proof that certifications actually work. Real people, real results. Stay with me on this one. It's Wednesday. Today's action. We've been talking about this since Monday. Your action for today. You're updating your LinkedIn headline. That's a non-negotiable. Instead of marketing manager, it should say marketing manager, AI-driven strategy. Not software engineer. It should say software engineer building AI enhanced applications. Not HR business partner. It should say HR business partner, AI powered talent analytics. Add AI to your headline. Recruiters are typing in AI in LinkedIn searches right now. And if you don't have that word, you don't show up. Outside of updating your LinkedIn, you should be writing one post about what you learned from your certification or what you are learning. Maybe you can say something like, I just started my AI certification journey. Here's what I learned on day 1. One post, public learning, shows your positioning. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about proof that this actually works. Real people, real results. Oracle. They are running a race to certification through October the 31st. That's basically 23 days from today. 23 days. Free certifications in AI, cloud computing, databases, free training, 2 free exam attempts. And Reddit is full of people posting their progress. I came across a user. His name is Danksadark. He posted a few days ago, said that he has 2 years of cloud technology experience. He's focusing on Oracle certifications to advance his career. He joined a competitive leaderboard. He's tracking his progress. He's taking action. If you guys are doing any of these certifications, type Oracle if you're doing this. Another Reddit thread, 124 upvotes, 113 comments, people sharing tips, forming stress. One commenter said, I wasn't initially considering Oracle certifications, but this opportunity stood out to me because you can obtain valuable foundation certifications at no cost. Free, valuable, no cost. This is what people are doing today. While you guys are sitting here, twiddling your thumbs, thinking that the government's going to save you, thinking that they actually care, thinking that your employer is going to save you, thinking that they actually care. You got other people who know that they have to take control of their own future, and they're not going to leave it to anybody else's hands. And this is what they're doing online. That's why you have some winners, and that's why you have a whole bunch of losers. Now, let me talk to you guys about AWS, because Amazon Web Services, they launched AI and machine learning Get Certified Challenge. 50% discount on 3 certifications: AI practitioner, machine learning engineer, data engineer. Reddit discussions are going on in the Reddit sections as well, too. Over 200 upvotes, dozens of comments, workers planning to participate. Rahul Bhatia, he's a site reliability engineer. He has 12 AWS certifications. He posted on LinkedIn promoting the challenge. He said, and I quote, 90% of organizations plan to expand their AI adoption in the next 12 months. 90%. I want you guys, if you're in the chat, if you're considering this, type AWS. Now, let me show you proof that it works. Susan Enoma. Susan is a agile business analyst and a consultant. She posted her certificate of completion on LinkedIn. You know, when you're on LinkedIn, you got to brag, especially you complete a certification. Put it out there. Get some credit. Let people know that you're putting in the work. That's what LinkedIn is for. That's what it's always been for. Not on all the political stuff. So Susan's doing it right. But Susan's post, it got 98 reactions, 51 comments, and she said she's getting promising interview calls. 98% or 90 people engaged with her post. Companies reached out, interviews scheduled. Kira Judge, she's a senior business analyst. She posted her certificate, let me say that again. She posted her certificate of completion on LinkedIn. She got a job offer from another office in her company shortly after. Posted a cert, got an offer. These are real results that people are getting from putting in the work. You got Reddit user Javery Bull. He posted about passing an AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. Started studying during the holiday season. 1 month of study. Completed 40 practice tests. Passed the exam. 1 month. 40 practice tests. He passed. Here's the data that backs it up. Workers who share certificates on LinkedIn get 6 times more profile views. That's 6 times. And they're 29% more likely to get hired. That's 29%. So LinkedIn's algorithm has changed. Reach dropped 50%, but post and short videos under 90 seconds, personal stories, that beats the algorithm. So if you are putting posts out there and you're doing short videos, it beats the algorithm. Let me show you guys the urgency. The Oracle deadline, October the 31st, 23 days from today. AWS challenge, 50% off, ends November the 4th. 27 days. Open AI Academy, they launching late 2025 or early 2026. The goal, certify 10 million Americans by 2030. 10 million. The window is open. Companies are certifying millions. Hiring managers prefer AI skills over experience. Certifications get 6 times more views, but you have to start. Day 1, on Monday, we talked about auditing where you are. Look at where you are. Day 2 was to start, begin a certification. Day 3 is today. Update your LinkedIn, add AI, write 1 post. Most people didn't do day 2. Most people didn't do day 1. They said tomorrow. They said next week. They said when things calm down. Those people are now 2 days behind. If you updated your LinkedIn today, you're visible. You're showing up in searches. You're signaling to recruiters and hiring managers that you are adapting. If you don't, you're invisible. Real quick, if you want help building your specific AI positioning plan, consider booking a session with me. nextgenheights.com. You'll get an opportunity to speak with me. We'll talk about your positioning plan. Or you can consider joining our Patreon, patreon.com/Black Heights. We have people who've made this transition, people who got AI certificates, people who are working on them right now, people who've doubled their income, people who've pivoted from traditional roles to tech roles and AI roles. You can have conversations with them. Susan Enuma, 98 reactions, and she got interview calls just by posting on LinkedIn. Kyra Judge, she posted a certification on LinkedIn and she got an offer. Reddit users are passing exams in 1 month, 40 practice tests, 6 times more profile views when you have certifications, when you post your certifications. That's not theory, that's proof. Day 3, update your LinkedIn, add AI to it, write 1 post. Let's get to it. You've seen the proof that certifications, they actually work. Now, let me show you this. Because there's a trust issue that's going on right now. Okay? Let me show you why trust is completely dead. Because President Trump said some workers don't deserve back pay. And workers are getting laid off in 4-minute Zoom calls. This is the reality. I want you guys to stay with me on this one. President Trump on Tuesday, he asked about back pay for furloughed workers. He said, it depends on who we're talking about. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, don't deserve it. The White House, they drafted a memo, says furlough workers aren't entitled to back pay, even though there's a law, a 2019 law that Trump signed that says workers shall be paid. But now the White House says maybe not. Type trust if that's a broken promise in the chat. Now, here's the surprising part. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican from Georgia, a Trump supporter, not a fan of Obamacare. She posted on Monday, she said her adult children's insurance premiums are set to double in 2026 if tax credits expire. She says, I'm absolutely disgusted that health insurance premiums will double if the tax credits expire this year. Okay? This is what she said. And that's not the usual Republican position. That's a crack in the coalition. That's GOP members saying, wait, this actually affects my family. Now, let me show you corporate trust. There was a Reddit post that went viral October the 7th and 8th, posted by a new employee at one of America's largest companies. The post described colleagues sending emails and Slack messages as early as 6 to 7 a.m., continuing until 9 to 11 p.m., 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every single day. The employee said, I feel stressed about not being on before arriving at the office. The post got 3,100 likes, 349 comments. Workers across tech, finance, consulting, sharing similar experiences, debating whether it reflects dedication or creates unhealthy competition. One commenter said, waking up before dawn is equated with commitment. That's not work-life balance. That's always on culture. And it's breaking people. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about a 4-minute Zoom layoff. October the 3rd, a U.S. company that has Indian employees. 4-minute Zoom call, COO joined, turned off everyone's cameras and microphones, announced layoffs, internal organization restructuring. 4 minutes, cameras off, microphones off. You are fired. One employee posted on Reddit, no prior intimation, no time to prepare. This is the first time I've been laid off and it truly sucks. There was no time to prepare mentally. 4 minutes, warning. No warning. Done, gone, no longer getting paid. You are fired. This is what's happening right now. Now, let me show you the surveillance. There's TikTok videos out there that went viral. 600,000 views. Remote worker called Tim Lee. He exposed employer surveillance software. The software captures screenshots every 10 minutes, monitors keystrokes, tracks activities every 10 minutes, screenshot what you're working on, what websites you're visiting, what you're typing. 6 600,000 people watched that video. Comments full of people saying, quote, "This is dystopian. You can't trust your employer isn't watching. Every 10 minutes, a screenshot." That's what it said in the video. I want to talk to you guys about this worker. His name Mwanga Wanju, 28 years old, from Kenya, based in Canada. His parents named him Mwanga, common name in his tribe, a traditional name from Kenya. But when he moved to Canada in 2016, people struggled with his name. They couldn't remember it. They mispronounced it. He started going by James, his grandfather's name, his baptism name. He changed his resume from Mwanga Wanju to James M. Wanju. And immediately, more responses, more interviews, more callbacks. He got a job, used James as work or at work. But he said, "I felt like two different people outside of work. I was Mwangwi, seeing my friends, brought me back to who I was. But when I stepped into work at 8 a.m., I was James." Two different people. Eventually, he decided to go back to Mwangwi, even at work, even if people struggle with it, even if they forget it. He said, "I realized that if I want things changed, I should start embracing my name. Bias in the system won't change unless we stop hiding." So President Trump says some workers don't deserve back pay. Marjorie Taylor Greene says premiums doubling is disgusting. Workers getting emails from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. 4-minute Zoom layoffs. Screenshots every 10 minutes. Workers changing their names to get jobs. Trust is dead at every level. The government doesn't trust workers to get back pay. Companies don't trust workers to work remotely without surveillance. Workers don't trust companies not to fire them in 4 minutes. And workers can't even trust that their own name won't hurt their job chances. If you want help building your exit plan in this kind of environment, book a coaching call with me or join our Patreon, www.patreon.com/Black Heights. We got corporate workers who built side hustle income and side income. I'm doing it myself. We're all showing you how exactly to do it. And the Patreon is only $5.99 a month. Link in the description of this video. Do me a favor, type exit if you're building your own plan. Type it in the chat. If you're building something on the side, you're putting in the hours before work, you're putting in the hours in the evening, type exit. Let me know in the chat. I want to know. Day 1 was your audit. Day 2 was your start. Day 3 is today. Update your LinkedIn. Because when trust is dead, credentials are everything. When promises break, skills matter. When surveillance spreads, proof of capability is all you have. Update your LinkedIn today. Add AI to it. Write one post. Now, guys, we are just about done. I got the landing gear on right now, or down. We're starting to decline. We're getting ready to head towards the runway. We are on segment 7. Stay with me, guys. I'm going to do a rapid fire. What happened today? Gold, 4,000. First time ever. O'Hare, 9 hours short. Delays everywhere. Nashville, 5 hours closed. IRS, 35,000 furloughed. Trump says some don't deserve back pay. Senate failed for the 5th time to reach an agreement to open the government so that you can get paid for your federal services people, so that there won't be flight delays, so that parks are open. Tech spending. Guess what? 320 billion needs to get to 2 trillion. That's how much money they need to make. 800 billion short. Gen Z, 8% already. Degrees are dead. AI skills gives you 28% more in income. But AI companies are hiring 5.2 million square feet, or they're contracting and absorbing that amount of square feet so that they can hire. They're hiring right now, they say. That's all in the Silicon Valley area. 100 million jobs at risk. 304,000 residential construction losses. 340,000 data center jobs unfilled. Virginia. So many data centers being created in 9 months. Oracle, 23 days left in their AI certifications. Susan, she got 98 reactions by posting on LinkedIn about her certifications. Kyra, she got a job offer. Anytime you post a cert, it gets 6 times more views. Trust is dead everywhere. That's what happened while you guys were working. That's what happened while you guys were sleeping. And also while you were living your life. Some people took action, updated their LinkedIn, started certifications, positioned themselves. Most didn't, said I'm busy, said tomorrow, said next week. And this week, you're going to do one or the other. Position yourself or procrastinate. Here's what we're covering on tomorrow, Thursday, day 4. I'm going to try to get a guest on the show. I'm going to see if I can do that because I'm so behind on my guest booking sessions right now because of coaching and everything else that I have going on. But IRS furlough impact. We're going to track what actually happens when half of the IRS isn't working. All the tax processing delays, customer service shutdowns, real consequences. Day 9 of the shutdown. We're going to see if the Senate finds a way to to get you guys the money to open up the government, or if this thing is going to drag on and go into week 2. We're going to talk about the air traffic situation. We're going to monitor if there are more towers that close. We're going to see if there are more facilities that shut down, if the situation gets worse. And most importantly, we're going to try to feature people who took action, people who updated their LinkedIn profiles on Wednesday, people who started certifications on Tuesday, people who actually did day 2 and day 3. Because by Thursday, you'll either have made progress or made excuses. The majority of people make these excuses. Type Thursday if you're watching tomorrow. Here's your day 4 action plan. Tomorrow is Thursday. You're reaching out to 5 people. 5 people on LinkedIn who successfully made a career pivot using AI skills, or 5 people working in the trades making over $100,000 a year. How do you find them? Do a LinkedIn search. Former consultant, now AI, or electrician data center in your city. Message them. Keep it simple. Hi, my name is John. I saw you move from XYZ to an AI role. I'm making a similar transition. Would you be open to 15 minutes to call and share your experience? But make sure when you reach out, you provide value, even if it's just a Starbucks gift card. Hey, for taking a call, for taking the time, here's a Starbucks gift card. Send 5 messages. Someone will respond. I guarantee it. It works for me all the time. Now, for me, I don't do Starbucks gift cards. I say to your nearest steakhouse. If I get their time, I want to reward them for giving me their time. Typically, they are receptive. Here's the thing about this week. Monday was an audit. Look at where you actually are. Tuesday was to start a certification. Wednesday is visibility, updating your LinkedIn. Thursday is outreach. Message 5 people who made similar transitions. Friday is the assessment. Look back at what you accomplished. 5 days, 5 actions. By Friday, you'll be ahead of 95% of the people that's out here that's living life, not doing a damn thing. If you're not subscribed to the show yet, do it now. Hit the like button on the video. That's 1. Hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell because we're doing this every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central. Day 4 is tomorrow. Day 5 is Friday. 5-day countdown. Position yourself before everyone else panics. Type ready if you're taking action this week. Here's my final message for today. Over the last 24 hours, the pattern has accelerated. Gold 4,000, air traffic chaos, IRS 35,000 today. They are furloughed. They are not getting paid. Tech is betting $320 billion. Gen Z, 8% is only ready. They're not getting jobs. But AI companies, they're hiring. Trust is dead everywhere. Chaos is accelerating. The systems are breaking. The window is closing. And you're on day 3 of your 5-day plan. Did you update your LinkedIn or did you make excuses? Susan updated hers. She got 98 reactions, interview calls. Kira, she updated hers. She got a job offer. Reddit users started Oracle. They're 4 days in, making progress. AI companies are leasing 5.2 million square feet, opening offices, but only for people with AI skills. You're either catching up or falling behind. And the choice that you make today, it determines which one you are. That's how you climb. And one more time, if this breakdown is helping you navigate this chaos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new to our channel. And this may be your first time coming to us, but we are live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central. This is the Daily Climb Show on the Elevate to the Unknown YouTube channel. Every weekday morning, 7 a.m. Central. Position yourself before everyone else panics. That's the show. How many minutes? 78 minutes. Man, I hit turbulence again. Guys, I appreciate you guys. Good to see you, Tech Bag Trey. Good to see you, Onaka. Good to see you, David. Good to see you, Unknown. Good to see you, Miss Wade. Good to see you, Topaz. Good to see you, KL. Peaceful Ways. Guys, go out there and crush your day. Good to see you, Jumpman. Good to see you, Craze. Good to see you, KL. Good to see the Mad Millionaire. Guys, good to see you, Andre. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. We will see you guys on tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central. Continue to climb. Go out there and crush your day now.